My voice has to be better than Xbox. I have to try.
Good luck, sir.
All right, guys, this is episode 11 of Pardon the Dashboard. I'm your host, Sergeant Merrill, along with my co-host, Sweat, and we are excited to have along our guest today, Xbox Ahoy, otherwise known as Stuart. And we're excited because he is the epitome of production value and quality due to the incredibly entertaining nature of his breakdown videos that he does for Call of Duty. Stuart, we understand that you have a non-disclosure agreement right now, but without breaking it, or if you want to, that's fine. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about who you are and what's going on with your channel right now.
Right, yeah, will do. Yes, pleasure to be here, by the way. Just thought I'd put that in there. But yes, I'm currently taking a leave of absence from YouTube. Before that, I was running a series on Black Ops where I broke down the weapons and all the perks and whatnot for the weapons, and a lot of people seem to like it. But now I've been quiet because I've been working on something very secret, which I can't talk about really, but it's going to be good and it's going to be announced fairly soon. And hopefully after that, I'll return to YouTube and actually produce some more good content for Call of Duty and other similar games as well. That's kind of my plan there.
So the bread and butter of your channel has been weapon breakdowns. I mean, what was the inspiration for that?
Well, the original inspiration was probably I was entirely unaware of the whole Call of Duty scene before I signed up for YouTube. It was, originally my plan was to sort of make a channel and a blog for Xbox related news, and I posted something that was vaguely COD related, and all of a sudden, I had hundreds of thousands of, well, not hundreds of thousands, but thousands of people interested in this stuff I was doing, and I sort of realized that, hang on, Call of Duty is really, really massive on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, why don't I produce some videos for Call of Duty? Nobody else is doing it.
So was the community as developed as it is now back when you started?
This was just before the launch of Modern Warfare 2, and compared to the scene now, there were very, very few people actually doing anything. I mean, the big guys, the established guys, some of them were still, they were doing stuff. But yeah, it was fairly early on. I wouldn't consider myself one of the first by any means, but I was active November 2009.
Yeah.
So, in YouTube terms, that goes back a fair bit.
What do you think has given you the skill set that has made the production value of your videos so great?
I suppose the key thing with me is, well, I'm a web developer by trade, and that sort of that means I've got graphical skills. I can use Photoshop and I can produce stuff like that. And
yeah,
really, all videos are a series of pictures.
Yeah.
So given that I can produce, two-dimensional graphics, and I studied graphic design for a number of years. So I've got kind of the balance of skills to actually produce 2D graphics. Beyond that, I suppose I used to be a DJ as well.
Really?
Yeah, I did back in my student days.
So you think that has added to the audio quality of your videos?
Well, I was interested in music production, so I learned a few things there about, compression, normalization, and recording techniques as well.
That really beats the iPhone, which is what I started using.
So yeah, actually having the knowledge of how to record voice and how to compress it and present it properly, I think that it's not critical, but it does help a little bit, especially if you pair that with a solid set of graphics. And as far as the actual video side of things, as far as using Vegas is concerned, I was a relative newcomer to that. That's something I hadn't really done before.
Yeah.
So it was a challenge. I thought, let's challenge myself. Let's produce something that, is beyond my current ability, but I can learn how to do in a relatively short time. So with the Modern Warfare 2 guide, I thought, okay, well, I can produce still images, and I can produce stuff in Photoshop. What can I do to make it more video-like? And from there, I learned about some of the transitions, and most of the work on the Modern Warfare 2 series was in the background. I tried to emulate the sort of the clouds and the soft yellow glow in the corner.
Yeah.
That took me ages. That took me about probably a month of work, that did. Just getting to grips with Vegas, and it was a media generator for the plasma in the background, and I used a gradient thingy in the corner with keyframes to make it pulse slowly like the Modern Warfare 2 stuff.
What I've really noticed is it kind of has like a Fallout inspiration.
Oh yes, well the Black Ops stuff, that was after a year of doing Modern Warfare 2. So by that point I was very, very familiar with Vegas, and I thought I'd step it up a bit. Thought I'd add some new flourishes and showcase my skills, I suppose.
So being that you would be the weapon expert of everything Call of Duty, what would you say is your favorite weapon out of any Call of Duty and why?
Well, you see, when you're doing a weapon guide, you can't really have favorites. But I mean, given free reign of choice in Modern Warfare 2, for instance, I'd probably go with something like the ACR or the TAR-21. Those were absolutely my favorites. And then Black Ops, I'd probably go with something like probably the Galil, maybe the AK-47 or the Commando. I like the slower firing guns because they're a bit more manageable.
You can't argue the TAR-21 in Modern Warfare 2. That was by far my favorite. You throw a silencer on it, it was still as deadly. Throw FMJ on it, it was still, I mean, it was unbelievable. TAR-21 was, every nuke video I have on YouTube for Modern Warfare 2 probably has the TAR-21. It was amazing in that. The ACR is just because it was like a laser. I mean, there was no recoil. I mean, you just shoot straight, no recoil at all. So those are, I could definitely see why that in Modern Warfare 2.
As far as favorite weapons are concerned, people, they're attracted to the good weapons, the almost overpowered weapons, one might say.
With that in mind, I have to say in Black Ops, the PM63 has to be one of my favorite weapons, and it's really not one of the best. I just feel like I get an extra screw you when I kill somebody with it, and I'm really not that bad with it, so I have to say that that's one of my favorite weapons. What do you think about Black Ops? What would be one of your favorite weapons there?
Well, I'd like I said, the Commando, AK-47, they're pretty good guns. I like, the assault rifles in general, I think.
And what's your favorite useless attachment?
Oh, I don't know. They've all got some kind of use. I suppose the most useless are probably the red dots.
Really? You think the red dot is the most useless?
Well, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't alter the recoil. It just, puts a dot on your screen.
That's true. What has given you, because I know you go through all the attachments with all your weapons guides, what has made you smile the most from how frustrating it was?
Oh, well, the best moments are always the moments when things go, your way. When you're doing something, you're just playing the game as per normal, and then all of a sudden, you've got a 6-man kill feed. Stuff like that. That makes me smile.
Well, when I tweeted what people wanted to hear from you as far as topics, the biggest one was Modern Warfare 3. And not a whole lot of hype has been put into it just yet. I mean, they're just starting to hype this next Modern Warfare up. What are your hopes and dreams with Modern Warfare 3?
Personally, I'm hoping for a return to the handling and the damage characteristics of the weapons in Modern Warfare 2. I like the faster paced stuff, the sort of the madcap action. Hopefully they'll tone down explosives a little bit. Hopefully they'll tone down the knife a bit. But if the gunplay stays the same, I'll be pretty happy.
You said you were hoping for stopping power.
Well, I don't necessarily want the perk there, but I want the guns to behave as though they have stopping power. Okay. So I want to see the high damage assault rifles. I want to see them kill in 2 shots up close.
Okay. Yeah, it is that way in Black Ops. I mean, it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's almost like a different strategy in Black Ops because you have some time to run around a corner once you start getting shot, and that wasn't the case in other Call of Duties.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I like the bullet dance. I think I saw David Vonderhaar call it the bullet dance once.
The bullet dance.
I'm not sure if I like that. But I mean, particularly when you're looking to get clips for a weapon guide, if you see a group of 3 guys, you want to be able to kill them all.
That's true.
And get a clip. Whereas in Black Ops, you've got say if you're doing a 20-round SMG magazine, with the short magazine. Yeah. And you see 3 guys, you've got no chance. You've got to hit them each 4 times, and you've only got 20 rounds to do it with.
Yeah.
You'd be lucky to get 2 in most cases, and that kind of takes away from getting clips a little bit. I think probably the montage makers, they probably feel the same way about Black Ops. It's harder to get clips.
Oh, definitely.
Especially with the sniper nerfs.
What I want to see return, though, is that engine that, was in Call of Duty 4 or Modern Warfare 2. Like, when you hit somebody, like, you felt the controller vibrate, like, you felt the impact of the hit marker, like, just that extra interaction, you were hitting somebody because you get that little twitch. I mean, never mind to agree with you, really, that, it only takes 2 bullets up close, that stopping power aspect or whatever. But it just seems like, in Black Ops, you'll kill people running by, or you're that guy that you get behind the corner and then, you get the hit marker or you get the kill. And it's like, man, it's so inconsistent with how you can run, or sometimes you can't get away, or it depends on if they're using a FAMAS or a 74U with rapid fire. I just miss that Infinity Ward or that Modern Warfare 2 or the Call of Duty 4 engine, where it just seems like even the hit markers were interactive. I mean, you had that extra feel whenever you were shooting somebody. I really do miss that. Sniping, the same way. You know, you get a hit marker with a sniper rifle, you hear that, you know, you hear the hit marker, you hear the impact, the thud of the impact. I miss that.
Yeah. The one thing I liked about Modern Warfare 2 is the weapons they're not similar, but they all behaved in they were good weapons. I mean, even the secondary weapons, you could go into a free-for-all game and you could win free-for-alls if you were a good player just by using your secondary. Whereas if you try and go pistol only in Black Ops,
it turns into entertaining videos though, because it's so difficult.
Because you hear me screaming the whole time.
But yeah, trying to get pistol clips is much more challenging than it was in Modern Warfare 2. I mean, with stuff like the M9 and the USP, I was getting good gameplays in Modern Warfare 2.
And I miss the M9. I miss that thing. I don't know why. I mean, maybe it's one of the standard issue military weapons. I just miss it because I used it. But
that was probably my favorite as well, just because I think it had the capacity advantage and it handled really well as well.
Yeah, I think it handled like it did in real life. I felt good with the weapon. And I mean, sometimes you have that. Sometimes you just have one of those weapons that you feel good with. It's not necessarily the best, but you really enjoy it. But yeah, into our next topic, I know you do a lot of videos on Call of Duty, but let's say that the makers of Call of Duty were to put out embargoes when the game first came out to say that you couldn't release this information or that information, and it's starting to happen a lot. It just happened with LA Noire. It happened with Dragon Age 2, to where the developers are saying to Call of Duty or to YouTube channels that we do not want you to expose certain information. Do you think that's counterproductive to what they're trying to do, or what's your opinion on information embargoes that are becoming more and more popular with developers?
I don't think this is necessarily a new thing. I think this is probably just a sign that the videos that we're doing on YouTube, they're probably becoming more relevant. I think the press, journalists, they've always been subject to these embargoes. You know, they get told what they can and can't reveal, basically. And I think it's just, I suppose this is their attempt at regulating the content that goes up on YouTube, because it's now big business, I suppose. There are, you know, plenty of YouTubers making a living off this stuff now, and it's almost like a new form of journalism. Yeah. Especially, you know, it's particularly relevant to gaming, because that seems to be one of the sort of the major growth areas. And, well, I mean, like I say, nothing's really changed. I'm sure these embargoes probably existed before the internet, you know?
And that's true. But I know I do it, and I know a lot of other people do it, to where if I'm thinking about buying a game, I'm going to search it up on YouTube first. And if people are so nervous about getting a strike on their channel not to post anything on the game, I think it's counterproductive to what they're trying to do, which is sell the game.
I suppose so, but you can kind of understand their reservations about posting the ending and certain other cutscenes.
Yeah, I mean, to an extent, but I mean, I had people who were doing Let's Plays of Dragon Age 2, and they were only maybe an hour into the game. I didn't see any cutscenes that were really game-changing or you know, too revealing, and they were getting strikes on their channels, and that's where I felt is becoming a little counterproductive. Because this is what younger kids look at before they decide to invest $60 of their allowance into you know, a game.
That's true, and I've got to say I'm not a fan of obviously people getting strikes on their channel, because sometimes, you know, I mean, I've had a couple of strikes in the past for stuff I posted. I think it was this was before the Call of Duty content. I posted some Grand Theft Auto. That's it. I posted some gameplay from that very early on, and I had some cutscenes, and I got a couple of strikes as a result.
Really?
Yeah, this was, I mean, I had pretty much no subscribers at the time. I had, I think, 90 views on each of these videos, and I carried 2 strikes until very recently, where I got them removed.
Wow.
And so, yeah, I think maybe the strike method is a little bit harsh. I think maybe
it can be crippling.
Yeah, I think maybe giving people a chance to remove the videos, if, you know, we tread on toes, rather than going through the sort of the punitive system of YouTube. So I know obviously quite a few people in the scene have had 3 strikes, and then they've mysteriously disappeared as a result.
Yeah. And really, this subject leads into our next topic, which is the future of YouTube and where we believe this is going. You know, our game commentating is becoming a really big deal, and it's really developing what YouTube is going to be in the future. What are your opinions on where this is all going?
Well, it's certainly changed a lot in the last year. I mean, Modern Warfare 2 is probably where it all kicked off, and then Black Ops, it's kind of matured a little bit, and we've seen the emergence of, some fairly big channels. I mean, you need only look at channels like FPS Russia to see sort of the growth potential of some of the aspects of the YouTube stuff. And I suppose now money has become even more relevant. We're seeing people making, a living off this stuff, and I think that's going to change it. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure if it's going to be good or if it's going to be bad, but it's certainly going to change the scene a little bit. I mean, maybe we'll see more professional content. Maybe we'll see creative individuals actually using this to actually forge a living, to actually produce stuff. And maybe then, the eras of just being able to get a HD PVR and talk over some gameplay, maybe that'll be long gone. Maybe the standards will be higher. Of course, I don't think. I don't think. I mean, obviously, you're always going to be allowed to post gameplays if you want to talk over them. I just don't think, as far as the popular channels are concerned, I think maybe there might be some competition at the top.
Yeah, that's
I mean, it's already
already
kind of a competition.
I feel like I beat a dead horse because I say this all over again. You said competition. I've mentioned it a dozen times. I feel like on here that, it's going to make everybody work harder because they want their videos to be seen, before somebody watches an Xbox Ahoy video or Woody's Gamertag video or an XJAWS video. You want them to pick your video. So in order to do that, you have to increase the production value. So I absolutely think it'll be better. But I still think there's going to be a lot more videos. I think a lot more people are going to get involved, and it's just going to, I think the really good ones are just like anything. I think they're going to rise to the top. I think they're going to be successful. It just depends on how much production you put into it, like how much work and effort you put into it is going to show.
Yeah, see, I see it going really big. And it's because of a couple of things. I mean, look at our demographic. 90% of them are between the ages of 13 and 18. And that's tomorrow's generation. And you're already starting to see things implemented today that lead YouTube into being the lead entertainment source in the future, which is phones having YouTube installed on them. TVs now are having YouTube installed on them. Even Xboxes themselves are getting, you can watch YouTube videos on it. It's becoming, I think, the #1 entertainment source of the future because it's so accessible. And I think I put a lot more time into watching YouTube than I do regular TV. And I mean, that has to say something, especially when you start getting money involved.
I think the prospect of being able to watch YouTube stuff on the regular TV, that's very interesting. I mean, if somebody can sit down on their sofa and tune into Xbox Ahoy, that sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, and I mean, I have it. I got a brand new Sony TV in the other room where it's installed. It needs some work. It's a little buggy, but it's there. And when you get live streaming involved, well, then you got live streams that you can watch on your TV. That's a huge deal for me. I think that really says where this is going.
So the question is, I mean, does it stay with the individuals? Does it stay with, just the regular guys? Or does it move on to, companies and, groups of people?
I think it's so accessible that companies aren't going to be able to control it. It's so accessible.
But I mean, you do, to a certain extent, you have people producing gaming content. You've got G4 and IGN. Do you think there's going to be more like that? There's going to be more companies producing, given that there is money and a massive audience. And
I think people like to cut out the middleman. They want to go directly to the source. They want to go directly to the people that are awesome at Call of Duty, directly to the people that really know what they're doing and can put out good advice, and they don't need to go through the middleman, IGN and stuff like that to do it. People value that honesty. And that's what YouTube offers, and that's going to be the future of it. And really, that's what's given us the opportunities that we have now. People enjoy the middle, cutting out the middleman.
I suppose so. It comes down to a question of what's more important. Is it the personality? Is it the gameplay? Or is it the production value? Because I think you see on the production side, someone with money, someone with a budget, a company could probably make better content than a guy with a HD PVR. So, that's something that might change over the next year or so, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a recipe that I haven't quite mastered, or I'd be more popular than I am. But I think we're coming up on... Oh, do you have anything to add, Sweat?
No, I was just saying that's absolutely the truth. Whatever the secret is, obviously we haven't found it just yet because we haven't taken this thing completely by storm yet. But go ahead, man.
Yeah, I mean, I dig this topic, man, because I get excited about the future of YouTube. I really think it's going places. But we're coming up to the end of this episode 11 of Pardon the Dashboard. Do y'all have anything else y'all want to add before we get this thing out?
No, Stuart, thanks again for stopping by, man. It's been great.
Not a problem. Pleasure to be here, like I said.
All right. As I say with all Pardon the Dashboards, this is a group effort, guys. I know it's going to be hosted on my channel, but a lot of people put effort into this, from the people that donate their gameplays to me because I don't have 80 hours a week to put into this, to the people that help get new people on here, like Aviator. A lot of people put effort into Pardon the Dashboard, and I try and thank everybody in the description. So if you're watching this on iTunes or listening to it now, make sure you drop by the finished product on YouTube and check out the description. And I try and thank everybody that puts work into this. But that's all I have for episode 11 with Xbox Ahoy. This is Sergeant Merrill out here.